All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are going to break down a modern playbook for landing that promotion you really deserve and how to do it fast. We're talking about the real deal, no fluff steps you can take to finally stand out and prove your worth. So, does this sound familiar? You're doing great work, you're hitting all your deadlines, but you just feel stuck. Like completely stuck in the same role year after year. It's almost like your boss has a blind spot right where you're standing. Well, you're not alone. But what if a tiny shift could change absolutely everything? This slide really tells the whole story. Take my friend Jamie. For 2 solid years, Jamie was crushing it, doing fantastic work, but it felt like no one was noticing. Then a new manager came in, Jamie made one tiny tweak to how they talked about their work, and boom, promoted in just 6 weeks. That's what this is all about, these little shifts that create a massive, massive impact. So how do you actually make that happen for yourself? Well, we're going to break it down into 5 really simple but powerful career moves. Think of this as your personal playbook. These are the building blocks for making an undeniable case for your next promotion. First up, and honestly, this might be the most important one, you've got to flip the lens. It's all about learning to talk about your impact, not just the tasks you do every day. And look, this slide just nails the difference. Most of us, we say what's on the left, right? I handle social media posts. I manage the weekly reports. But frankly, no one really cares about the task itself. What grabs your boss's attention is what's on the right, what happened because you did the work. My posts grew engagement by 40%. See that? That's a number. That's a result. That, my friends, is promotion fuel. Okay, on to our second move, and you'll see how these start to build on each other. You need to get skills that make you indispensable, or as I like to call them, unfireable. And I'm not talking about some flashy, expensive certification. I mean practical skills that are in super high demand right now. So looking ahead, this is the list that really matters. And it's way less intimidating than it looks, I promise. Basic AI literacy doesn't mean you have to be a coder. It just means knowing how to ask an AI tool a smart question. And data sense, that's just about being the person who can look at a report and explain what the key numbers actually mean, in plain English. People who can do that, they just naturally look like leaders. And here's a perfect example. A coworker of mine, Sarah, spent just 5 minutes every morning messing around with a free AI tool. She was just asking it how to summarize project updates a little better. She shared the new format with the team, and suddenly, she became the go-to person for updates. That tiny little habit got her on leadership's radar and led straight to a promotion. All right, move number 3. And this one is not about that awkward, forced networking. This is about building real, genuine human connections. It's about being the person on the team that people actually trust and want to rely on. I mean, think about this for a second. Your boss probably doesn't remember the specifics of that great report you submitted last month. But you know what they will remember? The story about you jumping in to help Jane fix her critical slide deck at midnight before a huge presentation. That goodwill, that trust, that's the stuff that powers the promotions that happen behind closed doors. Move 4 is so important because look, silence is never going to get you noticed. You have to speak up, but you got to do it strategically. It's not about just having a good idea and then announcing it like some kind of solo performance. That can actually make people feel threatened. Instead, you plant seeds. You mention it to a colleague before the meeting to get their take. Then in the meeting, you can say something like, building on what Marie and I were discussing, all of a sudden, it's not just your idea, it's a shared idea. And you're the one who brought people together. And finally, move number 5. This is my secret weapon for showing leadership without ever having to say, I'm a leader. I call it the neighborhood rally. It's simple. You just gather a few trusted colleagues, you brainstorm a solution together, and then you present it as a we idea. By saying, hey, our group was thinking, or we had an idea to solve this, you automatically position yourself as a natural collaborator. Your manager doesn't see someone trying to steal the spotlight. They see the person who connects the dots and rallies the team. Okay, now this is where it all comes together. Any one of these moves is good, for sure, but on its own, it doesn't have that real punch. The real cheat code, the thing that gets you that 6-week turnaround, is when you start combining all of them for maximum impact. So picture this. It's the end of quarter meeting. Your boss is talking about some challenge the team is facing. You just casually jump in. First, you share your impact. Actually, since we changed our report format, we've been saving about 2 hours a week. Then you showcase your new skill.
I also set up a weekly AI prompt that automates the chart updates for us. And finally, you rally the team. And Lisa was just saying how happy marketing is with the extra clarity. You see that? 3 key moves all woven into one powerful 30-second comment.
And what's the immediate result of that little moment? This. This is what's going through your boss's mind. It's not just, oh, they do good work. It's, wow, this person runs things. They see you as proactive, as a problem solver, a team player, someone who thinks bigger. That is the exact thought that gets you promoted.
Now, let's just pause for a little reality check. Sometimes you can do all of this and your manager still isn't paying attention. For that situation, you need an insurance policy. You need your fail-safe wins folder. Because let's be real, right? Sometimes you do everything right and you still just hear crickets. That's when you have to stop hoping they'll notice and start proving your case with cold, hard facts. Your wins folder is where you turn all those feelings into facts. You document everything. The hours you saved, the money you earned for the company, the stats from your AI prompts, that positive email you got from a colleague, even proof of your helpfulness. Then, when it's time for that promotion talk, you walk in with a folder full of undeniable proof, not just your opinion. So let's bring it all home. The goal here really isn't just to ask for a promotion. The goal is to build such a powerful case for yourself that you become, well, utterly unignorable. This is your blueprint to do just that. Here it is one last time, your 5-point plan. 1. Talk about impact, not your tasks. 2. Learn the language of AI and data. 3. Be the genuinely helpful person people trust. 4. Plant those strategic seeds when you speak up. And 5. Be the connector who rallies your neighborhood. And always, always, keep that wins folder ready to go. So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. When you go into work tomorrow, are you just going to do your job? Or are you going to start piece by piece building your case? The choice is yours.